Recording has been started now. Okay. Can you tell me like what all things we discussed like in the previous session regarding the data types? Like we know, right? We cannot store the data inside a variable, correct? Yeah, we discuss about tuple, list, dictionary, right? So now we will be saying about list. Okay, like what is list, why we will be using list, and what are the different things you can see in list. So let me go to my PPT. Okay, so we'll study about list. Okay, as I told you, like when we have some variables, let me create a new one over here. If I go to the new Python 3, okay, if I go over here and if I like to create a new thing, let's suppose I created a variable that is x and I want to store a value that is 10 over here. Can I store variable value 10 inside variable x? Yes, I can store, right? So if I give print over here, then print x, so what it will be? It will be 10. Yeah. Okay, I'll unmute you guys. If you have, you can ask me anything. Yeah, you can now you can unmute yourself. Okay. Now, as you know, in this single variable, we cannot store multiple type of data, whether it is similar kind or whether it is dissimilar type. Correct. Let's suppose I want to store a string inside this variable. That is a string. Okay, I'll create a string name string over here. It's possible to create by why, because by default Python will consider this as tuple. Okay. Now when we didn't have tuple or dictionary or list, that time we were not able to store multiple information into a single variable. So that's why we require this type of data type. Correct. So we have over here like different types of data types such as list, then tuples, then dictionary. Okay. So we'll discuss about one by one. Let's start with list. Okay. So lists are used to store multiple items into a single variable. If you have multiple different types of variables, or if you have multiple different types of values, you can store inside a single variable. Okay. Now lists are one of the 4 built-in data types in Python, which is used to store data. Okay. You can use to store different types of data over here. Whether you have similar type of data, like you have collection of string, you have combination of string with integers, that time also you can use your list. Okay. So how to create a list? Basically, if you want to create a list, what you have to do is you have to take a list name, such as I'll take list one over here. Okay. And you have to pass some value to the list. So always remember one thing, that your list, they are denoted by square bracket. Okay. What they are denoted by? They are denoted by always square bracket. So you have to give opening and closing square bracket, and you can just pass the value over, such as I'll give ccna, then ccienp. Okay. Then you can give like ccie. Okay. Or you can just give like ccde. So these are the multiple information which I want to pass. So what I'll do is I'll make a list. A list is nothing but, see, if you go for shopping, okay, uh, if you ever have gone to shopping, you know, right, you create a grocery shopping list, correct, where you will be having different types of items, such as you will be buying vegetables, you will be buying soft drinks, you will be buying fruits, correct. So what you will be doing is you will be storing all this information into this single variable, that is list one, correct. So over here also your list will be working in that same way. Now if you want to print that list, you have to give that print the elements in my list are, this is optional, you, if you want, you can give, otherwise not required. And just give comma and just call the list over here. So now when I just use it, okay, can you see I've created a list over here? Then it's at over here I have element. Now if you want to see the type of it, just give the type function. Let's see like what is the type over here. So they say like, okay, the class is list over here. Got it? How to create a list over here? Yes. Now there are different criterias which comes under your list. Okay. Now, for example, list items are ordered, changeable, and allow duplicate value. Ordered changeable, allow changeable means like if you see over here, like I have an element which is cciena, which is in the 0th position, correct? Now if you want, you can change the position to 1, and you can just, I mean, you can just swap the values over here. Like on the place of cc you can add cciena, on the place of cciena you can add ccd, you can do that whole things. Plus it will allow duplicate value. Duplicate value in the sense, if I create one more variable that is cciena over here, it will allow that also. Okay, let me remove this, or I'll write over here print list1. Fine. So can you see it allows duplicate value? So these are the key features which you should remember, okay, while creating a list or a tuple or any dictionary. So there are some rules which you need to follow. If you don't follow that rules, it will not help you. Okay. Now as you know that the first element, the very first element of your list or any variable, it will be starting with index 0, correct? So it will be going till 1 2 3 and so on, whatever things are there. So ordered means whenever you add an element, okay, whenever you add an element inside the list, the position is fixed, right? The first position will be 0, then it will be 1, then it will be 2, then it will be 3, then it will be 4. So in which order you add the elements, it is fixed. You cannot, you can modify it, but what order you do, you cannot change it. For example, like as I told you, in the place of ccn, if you want ccnp, you cannot do that. Like I'll show you one example over here. Okay, now what I have over here, in the place of I have ccna, ccnp, cci, ccd, and ccn. Can anyone tell me like on which position ccd is? What is the
Third position.
Third position.
Okay, 0 1 2 3. Okay, on the third position we have ccd over here. Now let's suppose you don't want ccd over there, you want to change the value of ccd to something else. So what you will be doing is just mention the list number over here. Okay, what list you have, that is list 1, and just give the index value. So what is the index value? As you told, it is 3, right? So give 3 over here and just mention the value which you want. So the value over here is string, so I'll just change it to Devnet over here. Okay, now just again print the list. So give it as list 1. Can you see ccd has been changed to Devnet? So this is how you will be changing the elements over here. Okay, now let's suppose how you will be doing in this thing in networking. Okay, now let's suppose you created a list known as command. Okay, and you want to pass some command, because you know, right, by default if you pass some values to the router, for us it will be the command, but for python it will be some variable or some values, correct? Let's suppose you have a value, or let's suppose you want to see the show ip interface brief. Okay, what you want to see? You want to see the show ip interface brief. So first thing you will be giving is like you will say enable, correct? You will say like, okay, go in the enable mode, correct? Then go to the config mode. Okay, then you will say like, okay, the next thing is change the host name to what you want to change the host name to. Let's suppose the host name at the initial stage, it will be Akshay. Okay, I just changed the host name to Akshay, and you want to change the host name over here. Now what you can do, now if you see over here, host name together is a variable, correct? It is together a value, a single value. So you can just change it over here based upon your value. Can anyone tell me like how I can change it?
What we need to change?
List index value to
Yeah, command, then
Index value 2.
Okay, index value 2. Then
Two,
just
index value
change the
2.
value. Okay, just change the value. Like I
Mudassar.
have, yeah, I'll just change it to, because it is a string, right? Host name. Just give Mudassir. Okay, now when you run it, I have not printed it. So just try to print it. Print. What you want to print? Command.
Come on.
Now when you run it, see, we got the host name as Mudassir. So this you might be thinking like, okay, I can change it to over here also, right? But when you do coding, when you write a program, okay, it should be like you will be not doing the changes in the backend. Okay, the changes will not happen in the backend. The changes will be done via user interface. So you have to create a program, or you have to create a list with in that way, or any script in that way that you can easily modify the things over there. Now, as you can see over here that in list, as I told you, it's are immutable. Lists are mutable. That means you can change the values over here. As I just changed the value in one of the list, in list one, I change it to from ccd to Devnet. Now, whenever you want to change any commands or you want to push any commands, you can go with this method. Okay. Now your list can have multiple values in it. Okay, the list can hold multiple values in it. For example, this list can hold a value that is string. Okay, it can hold a value that is integer. It can hold a value that is floating point. It can hold a value that is boolean also. So all this list, all this information can be stored within a single variable, that is by using list. Okay, if you use normal variable, is it possible to store multiple data? No, right? It's not possible to store multiple data over here. So this is how we will be doing it. Okay, so now if I try to print like what is inside my list, so I'll give print list. You give print list, so whatever elements you have inside the list, it will be printed. So you can see it, list 2. See over here, whatever elements I have, I can see over here. Got it? Okay, now just do one thing. Okay, if you want to traverse the list using for loop, if I want to traverse the element by using for, now how you can do if you want to traverse a list by using for loop? Any idea? I created a list that is list 2 over here. Okay, this is nothing but you are trying to display the value, correct? This is I'm displaying the value, but if I want to access the value, how you will do?
For loop, sir.
Yeah, how you will be using? Can anyone try? Just
Sir,
send
for
the.
x in list 2,
Okay, then
then print x.
print x, correct?
Yeah.
For x in list 1. Now list 1 is your list which you have created, sorry, list 2. And what is x? X is the temporary variable over here, correct? So just make
Yes.
sure that this print will come inside the list now. Now when you run,
Print x, sir.
okay. Sorry. So now you got how to use how to traverse an element using for loop in the list. Okay. Now if you want to traverse an element by using index, how you will do? By index value, if you want to do, then try to access any of the element by using index value. Got it? Try to access, just create a list. Okay, I'll just write it over here what you have to do. Create a list. First create a list, then access the items in the list. by using index value. What is index value?
Position, sir.
Yes, position, correct?
Position.
Yeah, so based upon the
Yes.
position, just try to access the element. Just see
Sir,
what
print
element.
X and then index value.
Yeah, just everyone just try. Yes, Joginder, your answer is correct. You have created a list one, CCNA, CCNP. Then you printed list one, position of one. So over here, CCNP will be printed, correct? You will be printing CCNP. Others also try. Others, are you getting or confusing? Yes. Hello. What about others? Pradeep, are you getting it? Pradeep, Zuhair.
I'm having a problem with my Jupyter.
It's not opening.
Yeah, let me close it and open.
Yeah, just shut or close it, or if it's not opening from your command prompt, then go to the navigator and open it. So you have like Anaconda or
okay.
Navigator over here, right? Click on the navigator and you will be having Jupyter notebook over there. So click on that and they should get open. Okay, so I'll just close this. I don't
Now
want.
it's working. Thanks. Now it's working.
So just try it. Okay. Now you access the elements by using index value, correct? Everyone. Now just try to access the element by using range function. Okay. Sorry, range of the index value. In the sense like if you create a list, that is list one. Okay. And there are elements which are like, let's suppose you have multiple elements like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or you can say 10 over here. 11, 12, 122. Now I want to print numbers from starting from 3 to 11. I just want to print the numbers starting from 3 to 11. How can I do? How I can do that?
List one, then index value from 2 to 12.
From 2 to
12.
everyone try this. Yeah, we will be using range function, Akib. Will not use for loop because I just told access the items using index range. Okay, you don't have to traverse the element. Traverse the element is different. Accessing the element is different. Got it? Got it or no?
Yeah, got it.
So just try with that. Because these are the important things. Okay, we already did with variable. We are just trying to do with list. So all the things are same over here. There is no change. You have to just do. So as I told you what you have to do. What was the command? Print list one What is the index value? It should start from 3 to
2 to
from 2 to
12. From 3 to 11 should be print. So 2 colon 12, 13, 11 or 12, right? List 1 there.
it took as a function. Yeah, I got it. I printed elements from 3 to. Now if you want to, so if you want to find the length, then length, you will just use the length function over here. That is length of the list. So when you give the length of the list, you can just see like what are the elements which are present inside your length. So just give print, then length of the list, what list you have. So list 1. So the how many elements are present in the list 1, you will be getting that information. So I got 13. So there are 13 elements which are present inside my list. Correct? There are 13 elements, right? Okay. Now, if you want to append, do you know what is append?
Adding the value.
Adding the
Adding the
value.
value.
Correct? Okay. Now, if you want to append any value over here, like for example, if I take this list, okay, I'll take this list into consideration, and I want to add new value. I want to add new element, that is the value 154 or 156. Let's suppose I want to add 156 over here. So how you can do?
List
First of
to
all,
one.
yeah. First of all, let us print the list 1 to see the normal value. Okay. After printing the list 1, you have to give list 1 dot
append.
Append is a function.
then
Okay. Append is a function,
Symbol bracket.
and just give the value over here. So we are using 156, so it is an integer value. So don't give into double quotation. Okay. And just now print the list over here. So what do you think the new value will be added?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, it should be added.
Yes.
We got new value over here. Correct. Now let's suppose you wrote a command. Okay. You wrote a command which is used for OSPF. Okay. Or some any other, like suppose any XYZ command you wrote. Now when you want to modify or when you want to add something inside the command, you can use list.append function. Okay. But one more thing over here, you might be thinking like, okay, I can directly go over here and I can just add the value, right? If I want, I can add 156. But that is like you're doing hard coding over here. Okay. You should never do hard coding. You have to like follow the proper GUI method, like how your interface you have created, the user interface. Based upon that, you have to do it. Okay. Based upon that, you have to do it. Now that is append means just remember one thing. Whenever you do append, the value will be added at the end of the list. Where it will be added? At the end of the list. Okay.
And
Not yes. Yes, Muzammal. Any doubts?
sir, if we want to add, then we will use insert function.
Yes, very good. So if you want to add anything in the middle or into some desired position, you can here use insert function. Okay. But if you use append function, it will only add the element at the end over here. It will not add in the between or any else position. So what you will be doing is you have to write a command that is your list name. Okay. List1 dot insert, and at which position you want to insert. Which position you want to insert? Tell me any one position where you want to insert the element.
3.
Okay, so 3, what it will be? 0, 1, 2, 3. So 4 it is, right? So I'll change the value to 0, 0, 0. Or I'll just write it as 90, 93. Okay, so what will happen over here? At the third position, the value will be changed, correct? And I'll just want to see the value over here. So what I'll give? Print list 1.
Yeah.
So can you see the value I've been added in the third position? So this is how you can add the element. Now, if I want to remove any element, then
Remove function.
Remove function.
Remove method.
So can you see, like in Python, you have everything which is built in. Okay, all the things are already present. You should just know like when you have to remove when you have to use that thing, correct? So if I use remove function over here that we call pop function, correct? Or you have one more that is remove function. So we'll do remove function only over here. So now I created a list, correct, over here. Now I want to remove something. So just give the list name, okay, dot remove, and what you want to remove. What you want to remove from the list? Let's suppose what we created, that is 1993. I want to remove this. So just give this function, that is list1 dot remove, and just what you have to do is print it. So what you will print? You will print list1 over here. Now see the new list which has been updated over here. What is the change over here? What element we added, it got removed, correct?
Deleted.
Yeah, deleted. Whatever element we added, it got deleted. Okay, got it?
So here every time we need to do the print statement.
No, print
Whenever
statement,
we do
I'm
any
just
change.
print statement is just used to display. So to show the
Okay.
output, I'm using print statement. Not necessary the change will be happening into your program, but to show you like, okay, this has been done. So that's why I'm using. Okay.
Okay.
So over
Okay.
here, when I
So here,
yes,
here
The
you are
list
removing
was without
1993,
space.
right?
okay, 1% at a time.
What if you have two 1993s in
Where
position 5
293?
and position 7?
Both will be removed. Let's try with that.
Okay.
So we added 193 over here, correct? So I'll add 193 over here. Okay. Now when I add 193, can you see? No, it just removed the first element. It didn't remove the second element. Over here, if you
Okay.
want to remove any specific element, you can go with pop function. Okay. So if you give the pop function, when you use pop function, that time it will be used. So over here, if you want to remove any specific element, we will be using pop function. Okay. So let's go back to this list. Now in guys, be on mute.
Sir, please repeat that remove function now once again.
So remove function will be used to remove any specific data over here. Okay, as I told you 1993, so it will remove. But over here, the remove function will stop after removing the element. It will not see whether there are repetitive element or not. Okay, it came over here, it's okay, 1993 is present, it just removed it. It didn't thought like, okay, there will be any other element over here. Now, if you want to remove the element dynamically, you have to use the pop function. Okay, so pop function is used in this way, like list1 pop, then you have to mention the position. So if I give the position 0, which element should be removed? Which element will be removed? 1 will be removed, correct? So give, I'll print over here. So in this part now, 0 should be removed, correct? 1 should be removed from the 0 position. See, can you see? Now I just deleted one element over here. Okay. So from the first position, the element has been deleted. But if you notice one thing over here, I am just doing the change in the same list over here. But as you can see, in the first part, the things are not getting changed. It is as it is, how the list is. Okay. This is why, because every time list will, this Python will consider this list as a new element. Got it? So over here, every time it will update the value. Okay. Any doubts in list? Yeah, we can also use the position to remove. Okay. Just mention the position. That is how your pop function is working, correct? So in pop function, we mention the position and the things are getting deleted. So if you want to delete any other value, such as in the position 5th, just give that value and the value will be deleted over here.
Okay.
See, on the 5th position, the value got deleted.
Yeah, but using the remove function, right?
No, if you want to use remove function, you have to give the value over here, like which value you want to delete. As over here, you saw like we had two same values. Okay, but what the interpreter did, it saw the value, correct, and it thought, okay, there will be only one value, that is 1993, only once. So it removed and it didn't check further whether there is repetitive value or not. Okay, but in pop function, you can use the position to delete the value. Like for example, if you want to delete some specific command, okay, you just wrote a command in this way. Okay, and you want to delete any specific command or any specific word over there, you can use the pop function. Now, if you want to delete the entire list, you have to just give a function that is delete. Then what you will be giving? The list name. So over here, the entire list will be deleted. Okay. When you use the delete function and just say delete list 1. List 1. You're not getting any output. Let's print it. See, we are getting an error.
List is not defined
Why it is? Why we are getting an error like that?
Because
Because
it's
there
no
is
because
longer
there is no any
available.
variable.
Yeah,
That's no longer available.
yeah, we already deleted it, correct? So
Yeah,
that's why
yeah.
this list is not available. But you see over here, we are still getting the values, correct? We can still see the value because at the initial stage, see, as I told you in the very beginning, Python will be working into like the compilation will be working like step-by-step execution, correct? After having one step, after second step, then okay. In the initial stage, it is having this way a list. After that, it just printed this, then this, then this, then this. So whatever change you do, it will affect step by step, not directly. Okay. Now just do one task, create a list which is having multiple values. Okay, and perform this operation. Perform all this operation like remove, pop, append, insert, all this operation, and just see the output over there. Just send me the output on chat. Will you do?
Yes.
Okay, just try. Okay, because list is very important as in the perspective of your networking. Okay, like when we write the Python scripts in networking for network automation, that time you should know like how this list will be working. Okay, just try and let me know. You have to use all the functions, and plus if you know any other function, because there are more methods and more functions which you can use. Okay, so if you know that also, you can add it. Okay, Rohit, you are getting the output also, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. See, as lists are mutable, that means we can do changes on list. It is very easy to use list when you are pushing the configuration. Okay, at the time, whatever, whenever you are trying to push any commands, that time we can use list over there. So it's very much useful and very much handy over that time. Okay. Okay, now what if we want to search any element or any specific element which is present inside your list or not? Okay, let's suppose you want to search a element inside a list, like whether you want to check whether that element is present inside the list or not. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create a list known as day and I'll add some values into it. Okay, so I'll say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, then you'll just give Thursday, then give okay, we missed something. Okay, now these are the elements which are present inside your list. Okay, you can perform any number of things, but can anyone tell me like whether if I want to check any element is present inside the list or not, how you can do?
With a if statement.
Yes, we'll take if statement. Okay, so I'll say if any of the day, like if I want to search whether Monday, I want to see like, okay, whether Monday is present in day or not. Okay, if Monday is present in day or not. If it is present, I should get an output that is
Yes.
yes, it is present. Okay, else print
It's not available. Oh, something else.
yeah, not present, like that. If I run this, yes, it is present because Monday is present over there. Correct. Now this type of scenarios you can use, like whether to check if that IP address is present inside your interface or not. Okay, for example, if any specific IP address is present inside the device or not, that time you can go and you can do. Okay, you can check it. Now if Pradeep, if I want to take the information from the user, okay, I want the user to give an value whether that value is present or not. So that time how you will be doing, because over here I am the one who is giving the value, correct?
Then we have to give an input and
Yes, very good. We'll be taking input. Okay, sorry, not input, variable that is.
assign that variable. Yeah.
Okay, I'll say d equal to, I'll say input. Then I'll say
Input the required date to check.
yeah, enter
the required date to check.
Enter the day which you want to check. Okay, give this information and just pass the d over here, the value of d. It will work.
If d in day.
Yeah, if in d in day. So what I'll do is I'll just remove 2 days so that we get over here.
We will use string before input.
No, by default, Python will consider the value as string only. Okay, when we give numerical value, we have to mention it is integer, or you have to mention whether it is float. Yeah, we have to do typecasting. Okay, that is nothing but you will be changing the type of value. From string you will be doing to integer, from integer you will be doing to string. That is nothing but typecast. Okay, So over here, what we did, we are taking the input from the user to check whether that element is present or not. So when I hit enter over here, it is asking me which day you want to check. So I'll give Monday. Why it is giving not present?
Because it's not there, you removed. No,
Yes,
it's Monday simple letters in Monday because it is case
So over here, you have to keep
Case
in mind about
sensitive.
the case sensitivity also. Okay. Because remember one thing, you are all network engineers, correct? When we work on the CLI of the device, we don't bother like whether it is uppercase or lowercase. Okay. Anyhow, we give it, it will be considering it. But in Python, it will not consider it. It will treat them differently. Okay. So make sure you make an habit that you always keep in mind this thing. So I'll give this as Monday. Now Monday is present. If I want to search any other thing, okay, I'll just give like Saturday. Is it present? No, Saturday is not present. So you'll be getting an output like this. Okay. Now let's suppose you want to copy information from a list to another list. Okay. You created a list. I'll take this list only. I'll just copy this one. Okay. And what you want to do is you, I have a list over here and you want to copy this list into some other list. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to create a variable first of all, where you will be copying it, correct?
Yeah.
So just give a variable that is weekdays. And what you want to copy, which variable, which list you want to copy? Day list.
A
Correct.
day dot
Copy.
copy function.
Day dot copy function. Okay, day dot copy function. So when you run this thing,
So print
so now,
weekdays.
yeah, now that day information will be copied in weekdays. So what you have to
Weekday.
print?
Weekdays.
Now when you print weekdays, this information will be printed. See, you got this information that is weekdays over here. Okay.
Sir, if we want to extend the list, then we will use the extend function.
Yes, you can use the extend function. See, there are n number of functions which you can use. Okay, there are multiple functions, there are multiple methods also which you can use. So it's up to you whichever you want. For example, there is one more which is known as list. Okay, now what list will be doing is it will be sorry, we have one more that is reverse. So what reverse will be doing is basically whatever list you have, it will be converting it to reverse format. Okay, it will be doing it in other pattern. So I'll take a list that is weekdays over here and I want to reverse it. So just use the method reverse and just try to print it. So print weekdays, correct? You got it, the output. Now you can see the output, what it is. The things have got reverse, right? So there are multiple methods, there are multiple functions which you can use to do it. Now, if you want to concatenate a list, concatenate in the sense you want to add a list. Okay. So let's suppose I created a list that is weekday over here. I'll just name this as weekday. And I want one more list that is weekend. Okay. And I want to add both of them. So what I'll do is I'll just create a here as Saturday and one more as Sunday. Okay. Now you want to concatenate together. Either you can just merge them into a single one and you can display the output, or you can create a one more list which will be used over here.
Weekend plus weekdays plus weekend.
Yeah, weekday plus weekend. So we didn't got any output.
Then print days.
You didn't print it.
Just print
Print this.
day. So can you see Mondays,
Yes,
Tuesday,
sir.
Wednesday, all these are concatenated. So as I told you, like there are multiple, like there are so many types of methods and functions which you have. So if you go to the like on the blogs of Python, if you check over there, so you will come to know like what are the different methods and function you have. Okay. Have you seen count function? No, right? Count function we didn't see. So there is one more function in your list, that is it will be a count function. Can anyone guess like what count function will be doing?
Actually, I have a question
Yes.
here.
Yes.
So if you want to remove like multiple items from the list at a time, right?
Okay.
So
you have to
in
give
remove, it will
multiple-
take
Yeah.
just one in remove.
So you have to use for loop over there.
Oh, to remove we have to use for. Okay.
Yeah, just mention the range. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And within that range, just try to apply a loop.
Okay.
Okay. Till the end of range will be there, the elements will be getting deleted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just try with that.
In case like if it is not like continuous, if it is like one is in the
So you
first
have to
position
like
and
okay, you have to like give the index value over there, each and individual. You cannot perform loop over there. That
okay. So
you
using
can,
the
yeah, you can perform loop also, but if the consecutive numbers are like two after the other, for example, if you created a list that is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let's suppose these are the elements which are present inside your list. Now you want to delete all the odd numbers. Okay, you want to delete 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So what you will be doing is when you give the range function that is from 1 to 11. Okay, so over there you have to mention +1. So +1, what it will be doing is when you add the value, it will be just going that way. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
that, see, there are multiple things which you have in Python. Like Python is very interactive and you can work a lot on Python. But basic thing what you have to know is like how you use the function and which functions you have to use. Okay, that is the thing which you should keep in mind. Got it?
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
actually I was trying to remove just, in the list, I was trying to remove like Sunday and Saturday. So I was trying to do that, like,
Sunday and
both are in different
Saturday, yeah,
position.
both are in different positions.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
If
I
you
was
want,
trying to remove it using just one command.
no, from one
line
command
of-
you cannot do. You have to use like multiple thing.
Okay.
That time you can, or you can use this the pop function. Correct. You can use the pop function multiple times to see mentioning the index value, and you can delete it.
Mm. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. In that way, like even remove can work. Like if you,
Yeah,
if
remove can work.
yeah.
So,
just
but
if
in
you want
remove, you
to-
have to mention the value. Pop, you have to
Yeah.
mention the index value.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Sure.
yeah.
Thank you.
So the next thing which I was talking about is the count function. Okay. Can anyone tell me like what count function will be doing?
The
Sorry.
count function gives the index value of the specified item or element.
Will it give the index value or will it
How
give
many
Index or
how many
position.
times
yes,
the
how
value
many
is
times that
repeated?
value has been occurring? Correct. Now let's suppose I created one. Okay, I'll just take Control V over here, and I'll just do like I'll just copy this value only. Okay, Control C, Control V, Control V. Then I'll take more values over here. So if you want to learn Python in detail, okay, Python in depth, you can enroll yourself for Python also. We have specially classes for Python also, courses for Python, where you can learn network automation also. Like Python for network engineers, the course is known as. Okay, so over there we will be studying deep into for loop, while loop, then nested for loops and all. All those concepts will be covered in detail. But if I try to teach all the things over here, I'll be just taking one like 1.5 months for just Python.
Sir, is there any course for Devnet?
Yeah, we have Devnet Associate as well as DevCore, which I'll be taking. Okay, I'm the one who will be taking. So in
Where
Devnet
we can
Plus,
access the ACI, SD-WAN, and ESXi, all stuff like that, and parsing.
Okay, so if you talk about ACI and SD-WAN and all, particularly, all these streams are different, correct? SD-WAN is different.
No, in
ACI.
terms of Python, sir. In terms of
In
Python.
terms of Python, in Devnet, you will be having like how you can create APIs to work on ACI or work on WebEx. Okay, that all you can learn from Python. So which is covered inside your Devnet course also.
Okay.
Okay, so over here I'll just give day. Okay, then number of occurrence I'll give to check whether how many times it has been occurrence. Okay, just give day. Okay, when you give day over here, so the value should be getting over here. Okay, so the next thing over here you have to give is you have to create a temporary variable which will be storing over here. So I'll say null, just a variable. Okay, then day dot count. Now what you want to count? I want to count Thursday. I want to count Thursday. So how many times a Thursday is present over here? Yes. How many times Thursday is present over here?
3 times.
2.
We have 2 times, or we have, okay, we have 2 times, right? So
Right.
just give print n.
Print
Null.
null. Print null.
We got it 2 times.
Yeah.
This is not required. Now, if you want to check some other value, such as
Yes, Friday.
we got it 3 times. Okay,
Yeah.
it's 3 times present, right? Now, if I have one more, that is Sunday. Is Sunday present?
No.
No, we don't have Sunday over here, right? So what you will be giving? You will give 0. We got the value as 0 over here. Got it? Now let's suppose you want to take the information from the user. So what we'll be doing is we will give a function that is n equal to input. I'll say what you'll say, enter the day. Correct?
Yeah.
And what I have to pass over here?
Sundays will be replaced by n.
Yes. So when you run it, just give Sunday 0. There is no Sunday. So if you give again Friday, so it will say like, okay, there are 3 Fridays over here. So this is how you will be using. Got it? Any doubts? So in tuples also you can do the same thing over here, but just remember one thing, tuples are immutable. Okay, you cannot change the things over here. Whatever item you enter inside the tuple, you cannot just remove a single element also from the tuple. Now just try. Okay, now I'll just show you how tuples are created. Tuples are created by this way. Just give like
I'm sorry, I just have one more question.
yes.
So I was trying to use concatenate function instead of adding. I was trying to do that, using concatenate weekdays and weekend. If I give, it should take, right?
No, concatenate, you are talking about the word.
Yeah, function, concatenate function. There is a function, right? So that if you use
No,
the
we don't have a
concatenate-
function that is known as concatenate. You have to use plus sign over there for concatenation. Did you just use the value name?
Yeah, like
If
days is
you
equal to
use concatenate over here like this, can you paste on chat?
Uh-huh.
Did you write like this?
Yes, this.
No, this will not work like that. If you want to concatenate, you have to use plus symbol. So that's the reason plus symbol stands for concatenation. Okay. If you want to add two numbers or if you want to concatenate two strings or any data type, you will be using concatenate symbol. Sorry, the plus symbol.
Okay. Because in coding, usually concat is the function we
Yeah,
use.
this
right?
one.
So,
Yeah, it's not the function name. Okay, concatenate is not the function name. It's just the explanation. Okay, the definition. Like this thing will be concatenating.
okay. Sure.
Okay. Now I was
Thank you.
talking about tuple, right? So I told like tuples are like immutable. You cannot change. Okay. Now, can anyone try to delete a element from this tuple? So if I want to delete an element from the tuple, what was the function, the tuple name? And then you have to give what? Pop, correct? Okay. So I'll just give tuple 1 and I'll give tuple 1 dot pop. Let's suppose I want to pop from the index value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And I want to print it over here. Tuple 1. See, can you see an error over here? I'm getting an error.
Yeah.
It is saying like tuple object has no attribute pop, because now whatever element you enter in pop, okay, sorry, in tuple, it is fixed. Okay, the element whichever you enter, it is fixed. You cannot change the order of the element. You cannot modify the element. You cannot add the element. Okay, if you want
Remove
to add,
is working.
remove, if you do, the value will be removed. Correct?
Yes.
Can you paste on chat? So if I use remove also over here, no, you didn't took as tuple. You took it as dictionary. See, this flower bracket is dictionary. This round bracket is tuple.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why we cannot use remove function and we cannot use pop function also. See, tuples cannot be deleted, nor you can modify. That's why tuples are known as immutable. If you want to delete anything, you have to delete the entire tuple. Okay. You have to delete the entire tuple over here. So just say delete. Then what is your tuple name? Tuple 1.
Underscore.
And just print
There should be a
tuple 1. See, we got an error. Tuple attribute has no object. Okay, after this it is not going. Let us comment it. Can you see tuple 1 is not defined? Now why it is not defined? Because you have deleted the tuple over there. Okay, so
Sir, I have a question.
yes.
Sir, like sometimes in error, we are getting name error and sometimes we are getting attribute error. Is there any science or any logic to read the error?
See, first of all, whenever you get an error, okay, you have to see whether it is a syntax error or whether it is a logical error. Okay. Now, if you get a name error and all, that means whatever things you have you have took, it is not present inside your tuple, or it is not present inside your code, because I'm getting a name error that is tuple 1. Okay. But when I use tuple 1 delete function over here, delete 1 tuple 1, this entire information has been deleted. Okay, so Python cannot find this name inside the script, inside the directory. So that's why I'm getting a name error. When I get an attribute error is nothing but like list and tuples are having unique functionality, correct? So when you mismatch those functionality, that time you will be getting attribute error. For example, now pop function, remove function, insert function will not work in your tuples, correct? So that time we'll be getting attribute error. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any other doubts?
We can also handle that errors, right?
You have to use try and catch method.
Exception
Yeah.
handling or error handling.
Yeah, so you have to use try and catch method over there. So you can just handle the exception. See, those are
Yes.
again the complex things. Okay. So I'll not suggest you to practice now those things, because right now your main focus should be like making your base strong, correct, in Python. So once you have a confidence in these things, whatever we do till now, whatever we have done till now, you can then you can jump to complex things like writing complex functions and all. Okay. Rest all things you can do, whatever the things we did on list, you can do on tuples also. But just remember one thing: you cannot modify, you cannot delete, you cannot insert, you cannot pop. These all functions cannot be done inside your tuple. Got it? Okay. Any other doubts? No doubts?
So it's not easy to use tuple, I mean, right? Like, I mean,
No, you can use, because see, can you tell me the difference between user execution mode and enable mode? So
Sir, in
basically,
user exec mode, we have only limited
privilege, correct?
show call.
Yeah, and in in enable mode we have more privilege, correct? We can go
Right.
into the global configuration. Now just take this example to this Python. Okay, now whenever I want to push any command over here, okay, whenever just see over here where it went. Okay, over here I try to push some command, correct, that is enable config t hostname Akshay, and then I was able to change the host name to Mudassar. Okay, now when you use list, that time you know, like, your whatever commands you have given, it can be manipulated, it can be changed. But if you don't want, see, if you give this script to your junior network engineer or to any support people who doesn't know the scripting, he can do any changes, right? I'm not talking about the backend. Okay, I'm talking about the GUI which you are giving. So over there, he can do the changes, right? By mistakenly or knowingly or unknowingly. So to avoid that, you will be not using tuple. Sorry, over there you can use tuple and you cannot use list. Now, if you want to change anything simultaneously or continuously, you can go with list. Got it?
yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you don't have any other doubts, we'll stop for today. Then tomorrow we'll do dictionary and functions. After that, we'll just try to see some sample code. Then we'll move to JSON and Postman and all. Okay. Sounds good?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Take care, guys. We'll meet
Thank
tomorrow.
you.
Okay. Have a good time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.